Well, hello there, podcast family. It's me, Lee, your cruise director, back with an episode of my official podcast. I'm so excited to have you listening, and thank you to everybody that downloaded and subscribed already. In fact, I've been going through the statistics, the stats from Anchor, and we've got listeners. So shout out to the United States, Australia, the UK, Canada. That's not it. We've also got listeners in Belgium, Portugal, New Zealand, South Africa, Puerto Rico, Serbia, the Philippines, Cayman Islands, Germany, Mexico, and even Trinidad and Tobago. So if you are listening from any of those countries, thank you. We're also now available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Radio Public, Anchor, Spotify, and Pocket Casts. You can leave me voice messages on anchor.fm/Tea with Lee. That's anchor.fm/Tea with Lee. I'd love to include your messages in the show, and I will be including the messages I've received already at the end of this episode. So if you did leave me a voice message, stay tuned to see if it gets played today. Now, before we begin, I do have to make the official announcement. I have to be serious for a moment. All opinions expressed in this podcast are mine alone and do not necessarily reflect those of my employer. Nothing to do with Carnival officially, though my life is Carnival Cruise Line, so it's hard to avoid mentioning them. Now that that's out of the way, we can get this show on the road properly. 2 minutes in, you're probably thinking, hang on, Lee, where's the jingle? Don't you worry, folks. Here it is. Take it away, Rohan.
It's time for tea. It's time for tea with Lee. It's time for tea. Time for tea with Lee.
Thank you so much for that, Rohan. And as always, if you haven't checked out Rohan's Facebook page, be sure to go and give him a like and maybe even join in one of his live piano bar experiences. You can find him at Rohan Windle Entertainer on Facebook. That's Rohan spelt Rohan, Windle Entertainer on Facebook. Now, today's episode, I got to interview Simon London. He's a presenter and fellow cruise director for Carnival Cruise Line. He is doing something incredible. If you haven't got time to listen to the whole interview, let me give you the most important part. He's running the London Marathon, everybody. He's doing it in support of children with cancer and St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. He's raising money for both organizations in tandem, and this is huge. So you can support him on his Just Giving page. It's justgiving.com/Simon London, like the city, CD. And CD stands for Cruise Director, of course. So that's Simon London CD. I really enjoyed touching base with Simon, and I hope you enjoy this episode. So without further ado, let's call Simon London Cruise Director. Well, hello there, Simon. How are you doing?
Hello, Lee. I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Well, welcome to Tea with Lee, my official podcast.
Lee, I'm very excited, especially that you called it Tea with Lee. I'm extremely excited. I've got a cup of tea right now,
Fantastic.
And I'm ready to go.
Hoping that we've got a few people listening that I've connected with from cruising with Carnival. They might not necessarily know you. They could have heard your name. So how about we start with a bit of an introduction? Who are you and what do you do?
Well, this is fantastic. I feel like I'm on stage already. So I'm Simon London. I'm one of the cruise directors for Carnival Cruise Line. I've been working for Carnival for about 6 years now, and I've been a cruise director for just about 3. And yeah, so I've just been kind of enjoying it and taking every moment. And I met Lee. When did we meet, Lee? We actually met because I think I knew of you on the grapevine, but then I think we actually met in 2018.
Yeah,
officially.
we met face to face in person at the conference. But I'll never forget. We were both working out of New Orleans, and I think we sailed past each other, and you put out a video and said hey to me, and that was the sort of kindling of our connection right there, and that's all on you.
I agree. I think that moment, and I kind of said hi, Lee, and it was amazing how much feedback that got, that video. And it was literally, I think I just finished a 90s trivia party, so I was very disorientated, and I just saw the ship, and that was it. And went from there. It was kind of a mission to kind of see you as you go past and give you a wave.
Yeah, I think it's so strange because on ships with being cruise directors, there's only one cruise director, maybe two if we're in a handover at a time, and we all know of each other, but we don't get to see each other or connect as much. So I really, really appreciate that, and I don't think I've actually told you how much I appreciate it. I really loved it, and it put you on my radar and in my universe, and I message you back and forth now and again, checking on each other.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I think that was the kind of, because finally you was on my radio before I think I was on yours. Because obviously I know before, like you say, with cruise directors, but being only one of us, we only really know each other through Facebook or watching each other's videos and getting ideas from each other. So to then almost initiate our relationship via a wave out of New Orleans on the Mississippi River, something quite romantic about it.
I really like it. It's definitely poetic. I love it. And then we did the Entertainment Leadership Conference together in 2018.
We did. I think that's going to be a memory for life.
Absolutely.
I think that's definitely a memory for life. Not only was, being in Memphis and going to Graceland to see Elvis, and then going down and seeing all the kind of blues clubs and the barbecue, sublime. But I think the kind of tip of the iceberg was going to St. Jude and seeing, and we talk about it every single week on the cruise ships and talk about, we're raising money. And I was very naive because I didn't really do my research, if you like. I was a very innocent cruise director. So St. Jude to me was very much, in my head, I pictured it as a small foundation, if you like, a small charity. But then when I got there and I was like, oh my word, this is insane. This is huge. It's massive. So that is definitely going to be a memory for life for me, I think. St. Jude and all of us in the kind of heart-shaped photograph that we did.
Oh, yeah. Incredible. With Christine Duffy there as well.
Oh my God, yeah. And for me, I think for you as well, was that your first conference as well?
Yeah, it was my first and only.
Yeah, same, likewise. I think for me, it was like, oh my gosh, look at these cruise directors who I've either been shown the ropes with or kind of seen as the elite. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm sitting next to Chris the Flying Scotsman. I'm sitting next to Lee Nathan. I'm sitting next to Matt Mitchum. It was very overwhelming to a certain point, but a whole bunch of fun.
But I think we all felt like that. Maybe some of the old school guys that had been there, done it, and seen it all before, they were a little calmer. But I was in exactly the same position as you, and only knowing people either by reputation or through what we'd seen online, I was equally sort of semi-starstruck, intimidated, and everything.
I always wanted to get a picture with all of them. I was standing next to people. Can I have your photograph? But you try and be cool, and you try and be I know these people. Yeah. But I felt like a guest in a way because, you've seen all these people, and suddenly you're like, oh my gosh, I'm standing in front of,
whoever,
the best.
It's nuts. And, there's a couple of people that I met at that conference that I never imagined would be the sort of the start, the sowing of seeds of a connection and a friendship. Is Felipe Couto. I message back and forth with Felipe here and there. I mean, I'd never met Felipe before, and he's such a great guy and so encouraging and supportive. That was really cool as well.
Yeah, I think when I was first, I was a host for Carnival back in 2014, and I had about 3 months before I knew I was going on board. And so I was, on YouTube and looking at all the kind of cruise ships, and the video that came up, or the person, with the sail away parties and with the shows, was Matt Mitchum.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing Matt, I think I was in Nassau. It was a 3-day cruise, and I was in some pirates bar getting Wi-Fi, as crew members do. And he walked in, and I remember it like it was yesterday. I kind of just went, hi, you don't know me, but you're Matt Mitchum, and I just want to say you're amazing.
Oh,
But then 3 years on, I'm sitting next to him in conference, and we're having a great laugh, and he's showing me things and
yeah.
talking about the horizon and stuff. So it's quite uncanny how quite how those two worlds collide, if you like. You go from
Yeah.
one side of the fence to the other side.
And how everything develops. Funny, I got a Matt Mitchum, it's like share Matt Mitchum story time. When I was brand new to Carnival, the Vista had just been launched and we were docked together. And in getting ready, preparing for my interview for Carnival, I did a lot of research and of course Matt comes up a lot when you search. And I messaged him the only way I knew how to reach out to him. So I sent him a message on his Facebook. And I was like, hi, I'm Doc next to you, and it'd be really cool to meet you. And his Facebook was that busy that he didn't get my message for like it must have been close to a week. And he sent me a company email, an internal email, and he's just like, hey, bro, it's great that you reached out to me. But just know that if you want to get in touch, we can use email. I was like, oh, yeah, I suppose. That's the thing.
What is this email? It's so 2010.
Yeah, I was like, oh, we do work for the same company. Yeah, I'm not just a fan.
I forgot. Of course we do. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, brilliant. I'm the same with John Heel, actually. I know you're a big fan of John.
Yeah.
And he was the guy, I'd look at and research, and I was like, oh, he's an English guy as well, and he's perfect. He lives around near my area. And so when I met him for the first time, I remember, I think it was on the bridge, and I was on the Fascination, and he came up, I think it was just before the hurricane relief in Puerto Rico. And he came on, and he was on the bridge, and I didn't know what to say. I literally went past God, and he's such a great guy.
Oh, yes.
It was like my mouth was open, and I was such a newbie. I was like, I can't say anything to you. I just because if I say something, I'm like a right idiot.
Oh, bless you. I mean, I'm dying to sail with him eventually. He's been on my kind of professional bucket list for a while, and it was supposed to happen. I should have done it by now, but
yeah, of course. So, what is the news with regards to the Radiant?
The plans changed, of course, with ships being retired from the fleet, and there's been a bit of a juggle. So, Radiant is going to go over to Long Beach, California now.
Wow!
And we're going to pick up the 3-day, 4-day itineraries, doing Catalina and Ensenada. That, of course, the fantasy class ships that have been put to rest were doing.
I'm kind of jealous because the Catalina, it always reminds me of the movie Step Brothers. The Catalina.
Oh, the wine mixer.
I'm like, I want to go there just because from the Step Brothers. So I might have to come and sail with you. You might have to put me on your guest list.
Hey, come on over. You'd be more than welcome. For me, it's the background, the wallpaper on my MacBook. It's Catalina Island, and that's all I can think of. Just taking my camera and trying to get the same picture.
You've done really well with your pictures, I must admit. You've got quite a talent, Lee, I must admit. Aside from cruise directing.
Thanks. I mean, it's been keeping me going. When lockdown started, I mean, we didn't and still don't know how long this is going to go on for. So I think a lot of us just kind of made the most of the downtime. And for me, photography has always been a hobby as well as video, and it kind of then overflows into stuff like this, podcasting and doing live videos, live streams and stuff. But yeah, photography was definitely a thing, and I was like, oh, maybe I could do this like semi-professionally while I'm not sailing. And it turns out that it's really difficult to book people for photo shoots when you're not allowed to be around people.
Yeah, I know. It's such a weird and bizarre world at the moment.
It is.
But kudos to you for. I mean, the portfolio that you have already is quite amazing. So
thanks, man.
The blessing is, the flip side, is when it all gets back up and running, you're going to have such a portfolio that you're going to be inundated with people.
Well, hopefully, in an ideal world, but. If nothing else, I'm getting to explore new talents or improve on pre-existing skills, which leads me on to something very important, because you, sir, have been filling your time with something other than photography, right? You've been really working hard.
I've been trying. I've definitely been trying. I must admit, I've slacked in the last. I say slacked. In my head, I've slacked, but probably to others, it's like no.
Yeah.
Obviously, my kind of followers would know, and my friends and family know that I'm running the London Marathon. So I took up running about a year ago.
Yeah.
I was always fond of running, but I never really got into it. I was just kind of like, yeah, sure, I'll go for a mile run. And it was St. Jude that actually inspired me. I remember it was on the Carnival Freedom, and this was just before the conference actually. And they asked me on the Carnival Freedom that, is there any other ideas? Is there another way we can, raise money and funds? So the idea sparked from there, and I kind of did some research, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to run the marathon. This suddenly, being the Pisces that I am, I started dreaming about this. So I signed up, and I signed up for there's a charity called Children with Cancer UK who allowed me to run under their name, which also then allowed me to run for St. Jude. I could run two at the same time. So over lockdown, on the ship, I'd run every time I was in port. I've got a little bear that kind of comes
London
with
bear.
me. London Bear, yeah, he's got as many outfits as any cruise director. He's very spoiled, which is quite weird because I'm, mid-30s and I'm talking about a teddy bear.
No, I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing.
It became, I think, at the time with London Bear, and London Bear he's my little teddy bear who runs with me, and he's going to run with me on the marathon in a few. I suppose it's October 4th, so not long now.
That's days away now.
It's days away. So over the time, it started off as a kind of gimmick, and then actually, as he kind of grew in his popularity, it was quite bizarre. People asking for London Bear on the ship, and I had no idea who they were, and didn't realise that they obviously would follow and get excited for their vacation. So London Bear became this kind of symbol. He's now filled with so many memories. Oh. It's like so many people. I was quite taken back really by how it started. It started to really gain some momentum on the ship, and we used to do our Build-A-Bear workshop, and the kids would buy their bear, but also would want a picture with London Bear. It was quite unbelievable, really.
Mate, I think that's beautiful, and it's also a great way to kind of keep you focused on the purpose as well, because when you look at that bear, then you think of the kids that you've met and the families that you've met on the ship through those experiences, and then full circle round to the reason why you're doing it for kids with cancer and St. Jude, of course. I think it's great. I think it's fantastic, and I admire everything you're doing.
Oh, thank you. I mean, now it's become a passion. Like, I love running. I absolutely adore. I haven't been out for a few weeks properly, like with work and here and there with little bits that you can pick up, and so I haven't kind of really put my mind to it for 2 weeks. But I did the 24-hour run, and that went really well.
You're doing well, and you know what? It's a full circle, because it's also great for you and your health and your stamina, your fitness. Whereas some people have been just sat around during lockdown, not doing much at all, just eating their mum's cooking and generally expanding.
I mean, I've definitely done that as well, for sure. I've definitely done that, but I think aside from the main reason, which was for running for St. Jude, actually is, especially during the lockdown, and like all of us with the unknown and potentially not having a job for a while with Carnival and not knowing where you're going to be. It sounds so cliche, and it sounds like everyone's going to say it, and I'm sure everyone who does fitness will understand. But honestly, even get out and run, I'd be in such a terrible mood, and I'd almost really not want to go. There'd be days when I'd have my whole outfit on, I'd have my trainers on, my watch set, and I still wouldn't go. But then when I did go out, it helped me mentally to just like compartmentalize everything and just have a moment to go, you know what? Everything's all right. Everything's okay. It's opened my eyes up actually to how helpful and how amazing. Not running or walking or cycling, just to get out away from the norm does wonders for the mind.
Absolutely.
For sure.
I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, I haven't been running like you have, but I've been going out on like hikes. I've been hiking up mountains and stuff.
Yeah, can we just talk about you, like, when you say talk about hike mountains, like, you've been hiking. I've been watching your Instagram pages, but you've done quite a stint as well, because didn't you climb Ben Nevis?
I did Ben Nevis, I did Scafell Pike and Snowdon. I did the 3 highest peaks in the UK, yeah.
I mean, that is amazing. I saw that, and you inspired me, Lee, to go, I want to do that. I want to do that.
Well, I wish I could run. It's so funny, like, you see other people and you take inspiration, and it's really, I mean, it's heartwarming to know that you can do that for the people that do the same for you, if that makes any sense.
I totally understand. I understand.
Hey there, I just need to take a moment to remind you I've got t-shirts and hoodies available at leeyourcruisedirector.tmill.com. That's Tmill, Teemill, leeyourcruisedirector.tmill.com for the official Lee Your Cruise Director merchandise. Check it out. You're going to run the London Marathon.
It scares me. It does. I don't really say it to myself often, because I'm like, especially that I know it's so close. Yeah. And every time I've done the videos or the pictures, I think, oh my goodness, I'm sure, and I read the forums and everyone says the same. They're dreading it, and but I'm excited. It's that kind of nervous feeling you get, before you go on stage or before the start of the cruise, and
the anticipation.
But I'll be very slow. I think my time I wanted to do was 4.5 hours. I'm probably going to be looking at 5.
Okay.
Because I do like cheesecake, and I've had quite a few in the last month.
Well, I'm cheering you on. Just know that I'm cheering you on, and so inspired by you doing that, because that's not sports day. You're not going for a jog. I've watched your like the charting of your run, because you use an app that shows you where you've been, right?
Yeah.
I've seen your runs go from like down the pier and along the quayside in ports of call when you've been on the ship, to you've been running around all sorts of sites around London and everywhere, to now the next step is going to be completing the London Marathon. I think it's incredible.
I'm so, like, when you say it, like when someone says it and says, like, from the port of Grand Turk and running around the sites, and to coming to London and running in my hometown, when you're in it and you're training, and you don't really, because I don't know, you not take it for granted, but you don't really take a moment. And it's just now I'm having a moment like, my God, like, wow, like,
it's huge. It's huge.
So Sunday we'll see. I'm hoping to. I need to get my act together. Really, I know the BBC, the television news. They're looking for people along the way, even though it's virtual. They wanted to try and grab someone's story, and I'm like, well, okay, perfect.
We need to get their attention.
Get on TV.
Absolutely, we need to get their attention. And in fact, maybe the people that are listening, like I say, even if it's just our mums, can help. So my wonderful podcast family, please jump on the internet and let's give Simon some support. And if you're in a position to donate, I'm sure he'd appreciate it. The kids that benefit from these organizations would wholeheartedly appreciate it. So Simon, can you tell us, first of all, where do we find you online?
So on Facebook, I'm Simon London CD on Facebook. That's a lot of my kind of pictures and videos go on there, and then also on Instagram, I'm Simon London CD on Instagram.
Consistent.
And I mean, there's mainly Instagram. I try and do you've seen the pictures. I try and get an image that I've seen. Yeah. And I kind of go, okay. And I do cheat a little bit with those photos, because I run by myself. I social distance. So I take a tripod with me.
Oh, amazing.
And I fold it up and put it in my little bag. And then once I've done the run, I then get it out, like 6-foot tripod. And then I literally run around in a circle. Basically, I screenshot the video. But for me, at the time, I was like, oh, this is so cringe. But actually, you know what? I'm so glad I did do it because I can look back at those photos and go, wow,
man.
that's, we ran there so it took a little bit of getting used to be quite vain.
Yeah,
and
no.
take a picture. But you know what? I'm so glad I did. So Facebook and Instagram, Simon London CD.
Yeah.
And if you can, and because I understand it's incredibly hard times at the moment, if you and it really is for the children especially who need it most. You can donate if you want to at justgiving.com/Simon London CD.
Oh, amazing. And I'll put a link to that in the episode description so people can click on and they can give you some support, maybe shout you out. We need to get this man on the BBC, okay, internet. Let's get Simon and London Bear on the BBC.
Oh, my goodness. Can you imagine, Lee? I don't know what I'd do. I think it'd be like the moment I would have met John Heald. They'd be interviewing me and I just wouldn't know what to say.
Well, let's try and make it happen.
Out my mouth.
And you know something you said about taking pictures of yourself. I think there's something valuable there for our cruisers. If anybody cruises on their own, that's a fantastic way to get your photographs. If you're out in port or if you're on the ship, you can set your camera up or your phone up, record a video, go strike a pose, and then just screenshot out of the video. I think that's brilliant.
As I say, it took a while to get used to, but actually, if you are cruising by yourself, sometimes you feel a bit more awkward asking, can you take my photo? But if you've got a tripod, one, people think you're taking a picture of the landscape, so it's fine. And two, you're never going to see them again anyway, so why not?
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I don't think we should limit ourselves for fear of judgment. Just do it. Deal with it later. Yeah,
just do it. I say that I couldn't have got the photos of. I took a London bus photo recently.
That was great.
I was really I got a little blurry app, so I blurred the kind of lights, and I'm nowhere near as good as you, Lee, with photography, but I'm working on it.
You're doing a great job.
I think it's just my double chin. I've got I need to go at an angle. I think, go high.
Well, I mean, you're so tall. Can we talk about that? When I actually met you in person, because it had been like a virtual connection to begin with, and depending on where people hold their phone, it kind of influences how tall you think they are. Like a lot of my guests think I'm taller than I am because I tend to hold my phone down and look over my phone. So a lot of people, when they meet me, they're like, "Oh, you're a lot smaller than I imagined," and you hold your phone up. So when I met you, I just presumed we were going to be like a similar height, and you walked in the room. I'm like, how tall are you?
You know what? I forget how tall I am. Like, I think I'm 5'10", and I'm a normal kind of build. I'm quite broad-shouldered. So when I look at pictures of myself, sometimes I go, oh my goodness, I am tall. Look how tall. Like, I forget how tall I am. And then obviously I have a little quiff going on, which I got cut recently, but that adds an extra foot or an inch. So I do forget how tall I am sometimes, especially when you're in a cabin. That can be really, when I was on the top bunk, that wasn't at all nice.
Oh man. Well, now you're a cruise director, you get a little bit more room, right?
I'm very lucky, so I can't complain at all. I think it's still the little doors that you have to walk under, and you think you've got under it, and then you just bang your head at the back. That's my trait.
I tell you something, as someone who's like 5'7" on a good day, I've never banged my head on a door. Fair.
Well, we all have a. It's fairly cold up here sometimes, so the best of both worlds. Every cloud has a silver lining.
Absolutely. Well, mate, it's been great connecting with you as we sort of start to round things up, because we've been going for half an hour.
Have we really?
It's crazy, right?
Lee, honestly, we need to do this more often. And when this is all done, we need to go for a nice beverage.
Absolutely. Another cold tea.
Of course, my tea's gone cold. Brilliant. I haven't even had a sip.
What I was going to say was, I just want to round things off with some like cruising questions. So super fast, fast and furious at you. Just so we can get to know you a little bit more. And of course, everyone that's listening, don't forget to follow Simon on Facebook and Instagram and his Just Giving page. But Simon, of all of the Carnival cruise ships you've worked on so far, which do you have the fondest memories of? I can't ask you which is your favorite because they're all great, but which have you got the most fond memories from?
The fondest memories, I think. Oh my goodness, it's so hot. The Triumph, the Carnival Triumph, purely because I've been on it 5 times. So I had memories for being a host, being a cruise director, being out of different ports. So the Triumph. I think
That ship has really seen you through your career, right?
it really has. I mean, it was one of my first ships I was on at my first contract, and then it was my first CD contract. I was out of Galveston, out of New Orleans. So yeah, the Triumph. And the shows were great, so that kind of saw me in good stead, if you like.
Yeah, and she's now the Sunrise, right?
Yes, the Sunrise. I almost forgot. How bad of me.
Okay, next question. What do you miss most? What was your biggest adjustment when you came home? Like land life versus ship life. What do you miss about ship life?
I think what I miss about the structure, in a weird way. I miss the structure. Being home for so long, I kind of was like, I don't know what to do. I've ran. I can't. What do I do now? Whereas on a ship, it was very structured. This is what you're going to do. This is where you're going to be. What day it is? It's sea day 1. It's port day 1. Sea day 2. Whereas in a normal land life, it's like, oh, these days just what do I do here? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just read.
Especially with especially with lockdown as well. Like days just blur. You don't even have the structure of like a working week. Or we didn't have the structure of a working week. You're back dabbling with a bit of worky work now, aren't you?
Bit of admin work, yeah, 9 to 5, which is so different. I'm working in an office just to kind of pay the bills, if you like.
Yeah.
So it's it's taken a while to kind of adjust to the 9 to 5, live for the weekend life. Because on the cruise ship, the weekend was every single day.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird blur, right? Every day's a weekend and every day's a weekday when you're on the ship.
Exactly. So, but hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll get some. There's good news happening with the cruise ships. They're coming back, and hopefully we'll be back soon, very soon.
I'm feeling super positive. Well, Simon, I'm going to round things off because I have a tendency to talk a lot. Thank you so much for being a part of this Tea with Lee.
And thank you, Lee, for allowing me to come on here. I've really had a great time, and it's so good to see you and hear you. Absolutely.
And the very best, I was going to say the best of luck, but you don't need it because you've been training. You're fantastic. So just
I appreciate it. I'm sure my legs won't be feeling it on Sunday at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, but we'll love it and enjoy every moment, and then we'll think about the pain afterwards.
Yeah, mate. Well, thank you, and I'll catch you soon. Well, there we go. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for listening to my catch up with Simon. I'm sure you're in full support of him with that marathon run. So whether you're in a position to donate or not, I would sincerely appreciate you supporting him any way you can online, even if it's just sharing the link to his Just Giving page, which of course, as I mentioned, will be in the description of this episode. Now, before we round things off, I need to get to your messages. I've got some listener messages recorded on Anchor FM. So here we go.
Lee, this is your piano lady, Connect Chris Susky. I just listened to your first podcast. I'm so excited about that. It's so good to hear your voice. And the more I get to listen to your voice, the more excited I get about cruising again. It makes me feel like I'm back on a ship and listening to you give the announcements. I wish you well on the podcast. I think it'll be a hit. And thank you so much for posting it on Facebook so we who are Facebook people can check it out. You take care. I love you, Lee.
Thank you so much, Kenneth, for that lovely, lovely message. Kenneth, in fact, she was playing the piano on board, entertaining her fellow cruisers on the promenade deck, an incredibly talented lady. And I just found her YouTube channel as well. She's fantastic. Our next message is from Barry.
So glad to hear you on a podcast, Lee. Looking forward to your next installment. Thanks so much for being who you are. Looking forward to cruise with you again someday.
How great is Barry's voice, those tones. Barry, thank you for your message. It is sincerely appreciated. Thank you so much for listening. And I hope you heard this shout out to you as well. My last message comes from two of my nearest and dearest cruise family members. It's the Solomons.
Lee! It's Nate Solomon.
And Amy.
And we just wanted to send a quick message to you and say we're so proud of you, buddy. And we know you're doing a great job. We hope you get a ton of listeners. And we miss cruising with you. And we love your excitement. We love following you, not only on Facebook, but all other platforms. And you're just an amazing guy. And we love you so much, buddy. And we wish you the best success. And we can't wait to see you grow even more. And we cannot wait to get cruising with you. So take care, buddy. And we just wanted to send you a little message. That's all.
Love you so much, buddy.
Ah, love you both too. Nate and Amy, two very, very special people. Well, that's it. That's all we have time for today's podcast. I sincerely appreciate you tuning in, and I hope to have you back again with future episodes. In my next episode, I'm touching base with Savannah Mitchell, Savannah Unana, fellow cruise director, because like Simon, she's also doing something incredible for a worthy cause. What that is, you'll have to tune in to find out. My name's Lee, I'm your cruise director, and this has been Tea with Lee.
It's time for tea. It's time for tea with Lee. It's time for tea. Time for tea with Lee.